Welcome to Mind Body Monday. I'm so happy to see you all here, and I'm very excited for this week's training because over my 30 years of practice in private healthcare, I've come to realize that it's the small interventions that often can make the biggest difference. And the whole world of digestion is just so important. It's become more popular now, the word mind-body medicine, and specifically the gut-brain connection. And research has shown that more brain neurotransmitters are released in the gut than in the brain. And research is showing more and more that a healthy, robust immune system is based in the gut and predicated on a healthy gut. And even more so, our vitality and our well-being is based on gut health. So today in Mind Body Monday, we're going to be taking a deeper dive into digestive enzymes. Are they indeed the magical key to greater health and vitality? Now, if any of you are watching the replay, I know this is a live training, so please, I invite you to ask questions in the chat, and time permitting, I'm going to respond to questions that are related to our topic. And if you're watching a replay, go ahead and comment in the comment section. This way, we'll be able to increase engagement and I'll be able to respond to your questions. And I'm just curious, how many of you here actually have or have experienced digestive problems, or do you have a diagnosis? Go ahead and just type in the chat. Have you had digestive problems? Do you have a digestive diagnosis? Because this way I'm able to gear the Mind Body Monday trainings to you, which is what this is really all about. So go ahead, type in the chat or write in the comments if you've actually suffered from digestive problems or have ever. I'm just curious to know who is here with us today. And as you're doing that, it's important to remember that about 62 million Americans are diagnosed every year with some sort of digestive disorder. And a fair portion of those could be avoided and quite easily treated, as you're going to learn in this training. So as this is a live session, I'm looking in the chat. Yes, someone's written that they take digestive enzymes already. Well, you're going to learn how to do it better. Someone else has written that they have GERD, which is a gastroesophageal reflux syndrome. Great, and they take enzymes. Amazing. And people do have acute IBS. You're going to get some help, not only through this training, but the various programs that are coming your way. So welcome everybody. I'm so happy to have you here. So just recently, I saw a woman came to see me. She's 47 years old with over 10 years of digestive problems. She came to see me primarily because she had multiple food sensitivities for many, many years, and her diet was very, very restrictive. So one of the many interventions I gave her, but I believe this was the main intervention, was just putting her on a robust digestive enzyme and having her apply some of the strategies that I'm going to be sharing with you today. And within a month, most of her food sensitivities vanished, and she was able to eat a greater variety of food. So it's not that something is necessarily wrong with the digestive system. It's just that it may not be working efficiently enough. So let's start off with a definition. Really, what are digestive enzymes and how do they work? Well, digestive enzymes are naturally produced within our bodies, and they work by breaking down the bigger molecules of food, the proteins, the fats, the sugars, the carbohydrates, the cellulose, etc., and breaking them down so the body will be able to absorb them, and then those products can then be moved into our bloodstream and vitalize the cells and heal the body and strengthen the body. So they are very, very important. And the question is really, why would we even come on to considering taking digestive enzymes as a supplement? Because that's what I'm going to suggest at the end. But how are digestive enzymes released in the body? So the first way is really by us anticipating a great meal or a delicious meal, or thinking about a lovely, healthy, nutritious meal, or just thinking about food in general. Also, if we smell or taste food, the digestive enzymes are stimulated in our body. And then the other way is when food actually travels through our body, the body then is stimulated and digestive enzymes are made. Now, I want to just share with you, since this is Mind Body Monday, and it really is all about harnessing a mind-body connection, I'd like to share with you a very short exercise. Now, if you can close your eyes, that's great, but you can also just listen and keep your eyes open if you're driving or aren't able to close your eyes. It'll work just as well anyway. But if you can, this is a short 1-minute exercise. It'll give you a taster of the power of the mind-body connection, specifically as it relates to your digestive system. So I'm going to have you all just take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just relax your shoulders, soften your face, and another nice, gentle, deep breath in. And this time as you breathe out, relax your chest and your belly be soft. And then just continue to breathe in a natural and comfortable way for yourself. And just imagine for a moment that you're standing in the kitchen. And in front of you is a cutting board and a large, fresh, juicy lemon. And then just slowly picking up that lemon in your hand, and you just feel its texture as you rub your thumb across the skin. You just notice the texture of the lemon. You notice the temperature of the lemon and almost get a sense of the weight. How heavy is this lemon? And then you look at it and you notice its color. Now, placing it safely down on the cutting board, you pick up a sharp knife and carefully, you just slice that lemon in half. And you notice as you do that, a bit of juice squirts out. And then taking that half, bring it up to your nose, just giving it a good smell. And just notice that tart, lemony smell. Now, placing it down gently on the cutting board, just cut that half into another half, so you have 2/4. And then you pick up that wedge, you smell it once again, you then perhaps holding it up to the light, you just see how the light reflects off those juice-filled cells of lemon juice. And then, yes, you bring it into your mouth and you bite on the flesh of this juicy wedge. And as you bite into this tart, fresh lemon, just notice what happens to your body. Just notice what happens to your face. Did your face pucker up? Notice what happens in your mouth, what responses are happening in your body. And then you can open your eyes or bring your focus back to Mind Body Monday Zoom or the replay. And I'm just curious, go ahead and type in the chat. What, if anything, did you notice, did you experience when you imagined this exercise? Go ahead, type in the chat or in the comments when you imagined biting into a juicy, succulent lemon. What did you notice? Because as you strengthen the mind-body connection, you notice that there's no lemon around. Someone's written in the chat, I felt heartburn just thinking about it. Right, thank you. Someone else, salivation. Someone else started salivation. Very good. So, very good. So this is normal and healthy. And there's no lemon in sight. But this is the power of our brain, visualization, our imagery ability, and how that links up to our saliva and our digestive system. So just thinking about food already stimulates one of the ways it gets our body ready to receive food, digest it in an efficient way. So there are 2 kinds of digestive enzymes, or there are 2 kinds of enzymes. One is metabolic, that they support metabolic functioning, health, or the health of our cells and metabolic processes within the body. And the other form of enzymes, other type, is digestive enzymes, which is really the topic of Mind Body Monday today. However, I am going to touch into the metabolic uses of enzymes, which I use a lot in my practice. So where are digestive enzymes produced? They're produced, as you've experienced, with saliva. They're in the salivary glands in the mouth. There are 2 or more very important enzymes that are secreted that help to digest carbohydrates. Then there are other enzymes secreted in the lining of our stomach, in our liver and gallbladder, and the pancreas is a very important player in the digestive process. Now, there are many kinds of digestive enzymes, and when I direct you how to find the right kind, you'll know what to look for. So any words that are ending with A's are, generally speaking, enzymes. So you've heard of lactose, as in milk sugar. So lactase is a digestive enzyme that breaks down milk sugar. You may have heard of a lipid, fats, and a lipase is a fat digesting enzyme. Protein digesting enzyme would be a protease. So any of the A's ending chemicals are really digestive enzymes, and some of them are naturally made within our bodies, and some of those are taken in the form of pills or capsules or liquids, which I'll get to shortly. So before I dive into looking at digestive enzymes from a bottle or from a capsule, I want to really focus on how to activate your own digestive enzymes within your body. And then I'm going to get to answer some of your questions. So I've got a couple of things here to demo. Firstly, when I said there was no lemon in sight, I kind of meant that, but I do have a lemon here, but I'm not sure that's the reason why some of you were salivating. I use lemons a lot in my diet to stimulate digestion, either just smelling a lemon, or what I've done here, especially in the winter, it's great. I've got a glass of sliced lemons with sliced fresh ginger root, which is another fantastic natural way to help your digestion. And if you like ginger, just even smelling ginger, you can use fresh ginger. And I have here ginger root powder. This is a ginger root powder, which I add to my foods, or here to hot water and lemon. Then, so to use herbs that are helpful or known to help with digestion, like turmeric, like fennel, caraway seeds, cinnamon, garlic. I have here for me my cinnamon that I use. Just by the way, there are many kinds of cinnamon. The best kind is what's called Zalonica, or cinnamon from Ceylon. I'm not going to go into a deep dive on that right now, but just look out for that. Then cardamom. These are cardamom pods. Making a drink from them or using them in soups is another way. One of my favorites is fresh nutmeg. Even just smelling the nutmeg is so delicious, and it adds a fresh, lovely, pungent flavor to your foods. Now, obviously, if you like them, use them, but if you don't like them, then don't use them. Now, these are some ways to help digestion by using these foods that are known to be great for digestion. Also, if a person is eating meat or fish or chicken, then adding rosemary, sage, or thyme, or even peppermint or peppermint leaves to these foods help their digestion. And that's why they're typically used in culinary dishes with meat. Now, another of my personal tweaks to help your digestion is soaking whatever is soakable. So I soak most of my nuts. These are Brazil nuts that have been soaked for about 2 or 3 days, but changing the water every 12 hours. They become very crunchy and delicious and much more nutritious, as you'll see why shortly. I have here a dish of pumpkin seeds. These are raw shelled pumpkin seeds that are soaking in water. I soak them typically, pumpkin seeds, for about 8 to 12 hours, depending on the weather. And I drain off the water and then put them in the fridge and then add them to soups and salads. What is so helpful about soaking nuts or seeds is that they begin to germinate and sprout. And in so doing, their innate enzyme capabilities within them are activated. So they then, when we eat them, those enzymes become part of our enzyme system and help us digest our food. I'll just demonstrate a few more things here. These are walnuts. This is a dish of walnuts that is, I've just prepared, and I'm going to be soaking them. I soak the walnuts for about 18 hours, also changing the water every 12 hours or so, and I pop them in the fridge and then add them to soups or salads, or just eat them as a healthy snack. And the last seed I like to soak is, can anyone identify this? Sunflower seeds. And again, soaking them for 12 hours or so, straining off the water, putting them in a Tupperware in the fridge and adding them to soup, salads, and having them as a snack. So all these are natural ways to increase the digestibility of foods and then use their innate enzymes within those foods to become part of my digestive system and enhance my digestion. And of course, they have much more nutrient power and much more nutrient dense once they've been soaked in that way, because they become activated. Okay. So the question is, why is it important to consider supplements with digestion? So all this talk about all these lovely drinks just reminds me to enjoy the hot water and lemon and ginger. Okay, so I personally take digestive enzymes every day as part of my meal, and I'll get to that in a minute. Why would I? Why would you? Why would anyone consider taking digestive enzymes? Doesn't your body make enough? So there are certain conditions that impede digestion, the manufacture of digestive enzymes in our body. And also, as a person ages, digestive enzyme functioning and production can also become reduced. Now, let's assume someone is perfectly healthy and they're making all the enzymes they need. We're not living an ideal lifestyle, so to speak, and there are many, many stresses out there in the world, and also in here in this world. And if we don't sit down and chew our food adequately, then the mechanical breaking down of food with our teeth is not going to allow enzymes within our body to digest food adequately. So whether you're going to take digestive enzymes or not, the most important thing, and I'm going to go list a bunch of things that are going to be helpful to enhance your natural digestion through enzyme activity, but also enhance taking enzymes. And one is chewing. Really chewing your food will break down your food mechanically. That way the enzymes can work on them chemically. And the key thing is here, the chewing is like a bulldozer breaking down, let's say, a building. But the fire hose or the cleaning equipment can only clean up what has been broken down. So the enzymes will not be able to work unless there's proper chewing. By the way, just as an aside, chewing also helps you feel more satiated, and therefore you may come to eat less. So it's also a good way to manage your weight. Next, I mentioned is stress. Stress suppresses enzyme activity. So if a person comes to sit down to a meal and they're feeling stressed, it may not be the best time to eat. Maybe just to drink some herbal tea or hydrate, have some water, or the lemon ginger drink, for example, or a herbal tea that way, and then calm down, or do some exercise, self-regulate, and that way, when you come to eat, you'll be able to digest your food better. Negative emotions also turn off digestive enzymes like anger or anxiety or strong feelings like rage, for example. If a person has experiences these strong emotions, it's best to wait off before you eat. Even though food may be a go-to when a person's feeling in that state, it's best to hold off. Researchers found there was a research with 19,000 people, and they found that a high percentage of these people suffered from GERD, this reflux, if they were anxious. So if they were experiencing any anxiety, it definitely has not a positive effect on the digestive system. The other thing is when eating is not to slouch down when you eat, but sit up. This way, the digestive organs are not squashed and they're able to work properly. And lastly, eating in a rush is also not a good thing. That will not only prevent proper chewing, but it'll also prevent proper digestion. So those are some of the natural ways you can enhance your digestion. So the first was soaking whatever you can, and the second was these strategies I just mentioned. Now, there's a lot of studies, research studies that have shown that taking a digestive enzyme could be very, very helpful. I personally try and practice these things I've just mentioned, but despite that, I still find taking digestive enzymes very, very important. As I said, we're not necessarily living ideal lives, and any help that we can get that is going to be helpful to help digestion, the immune system, and the microbiome, etc., it's going to be very, very useful to do. So digestive enzymes have been shown to relieve any bothersome symptoms of digestion, like bloating or heartburn or indigestion or an altered bowel function. Also, digestive enzymes have shown to soothe a distressed digestive system. And lastly, digestive enzymes help bowel function and to improve the microbiome, which I've spoken about in previous Mind Body Monday training. So how do you take them? What do they look like? So digestive enzymes really come in 3 or 4 main forms. One is in a pill form or capsules. The other is powders, and that's helpful for people who can't swallow. And lastly, in liquids. I have used liquids in my practice, and I still do, specifically for babies and children who can't swallow, and powders are not convenient for them. The liquids are flavored, and you can just add them to foods or into a little bit of grape juice or orange juice or something. Specifically, babies who have suffered from colic, giving them liquid enzymes is a very easy way to solve their problem, amongst other strategies as well. So a question a lot of people ask me about digestive enzymes is really, when do you take them? Because timing is everything, but if you don't take them at the right time, don't worry. So ideally, digestive enzymes should be taken just before you eat your meal, because you're able to prep your digestive system. So when you take your digestive enzymes first, they take about 10 or 15 minutes to become active inside your body. And then when you have your food, they're meeting an environment rich with digestive enzymes, the native enzymes within your body, and then the enzymes that you are taking through capsule form. So that's the ideal time, is before you eat it. A lot of people say, well, Avraham, I forgot. Can I still take them? Yes, take them anytime you're still eating. And if you forget, take them even after your meal. Remember, your meal is going to take, depending what you've eaten, anywhere from an hour to 2 hours to digest. So all the while the body is still working, you can certainly take digestive enzymes. So whenever you do, it's a good thing to do. Now, how do you know if they're going to help you? So some of my patients actually get quite quick benefit within 2 or 3 days of taking digestive enzymes. They'll feel less bloated, or have less gas or flatulence or discomfort, or even less or no heartburn. It could be that dramatic. And other people's experiences with taking digestive enzymes are more subtle than that, and they just may feel more energetic or have less brain fog or no brain fog at all. So when starting with digestive enzymes, I suggest people do a 14-day trial, which is basically taking the prescribed dose, which is either 1 or 2 capsules with each meal, before each meal, for 14 days, and just doing an experiment with yourself. There's very little downside. I've only experienced in my practice people with who have very, very sensitive digestive systems, taking a digestive enzyme that is too strong for their system, and those are generally prescribed by healthcare practitioners. Most of the enzymes that you're buying over the counter or online are not that. So if you feel unwell from taking enzyme, you can just stop, and very little or no harm is actually done. So it's a safe thing to try. So a question I often get is, do digestive enzymes stop my own body from making their own enzymes? So the answer is no. Taking digestive enzymes does not stop your body from functioning normally and making its own enzymes. That means if you stop taking enzymes or you run out, your body will just continue. It's not going to suppress any of your body's functions. So that's why I like to take the supplements of digestive enzymes, because they supplement what's happening inside my body, and therefore I'm able to have a complete digestion. And as a result, all the foods that I'm eating will be completely broken down in an efficient way, the nutrients absorbed into the bloodstream, and from there move into the cells to strengthen and heal the body, whatever is needed. Now, just some tips on what to look out for when you come to shop for digestive enzymes. The main thing is really look for respected brands. If you're looking on Amazon, for example, look at the reviews, see how many reviews there are, check what people are writing, see how responsive the company is to questions. That's really important. The other thing I recommend is look for third-party testing, where there's an external lab monitoring the quality and performance of the enzymes. The last point, what to look for in enzyme shopping, is what I recommend when starting off, to buy what's called a blend of enzymes. This is where there's a combination of enzymes. There's proteases, there's lipases, there's cellulase, and there's amylase, and various combinations of different enzymes. This is important because different enzymes work in different pH, relative acidity, within the digestive system. So some work in a very narrow band of pH, and each work in a different narrow band, put it that way. And when you take a blend, so that you'll be able to get full digestion across a spectrum of pH, of acidity in your digestive system, as the food moves through different parts of your stomach or your intestines. For example, the stomach has a pH of around 2, which is highly acidic with hydrochloric acid in there. And as the food moves through your digestive system, then the pH changes, and the other enzymes that you've taken will be able to work there as well. So those are the 3 things I recommend. Look for a well-respected brand with great views and good responsiveness from a company, third-party testing, and then buying a blend. And in the notes of the replay, I'll put some of my my recommendations of which enzymes I use in my practice. So as we're moving towards the end, I want to go into some other questions that patients have asked me about enzymes, about dosage, really, how much to take. So if you have a sensitive stomach, then I would recommend just taking 1 digestive enzyme at your largest meal. So if that's going to be breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whatever that is for you, when you have the most food, just take 1 before the meal. And do that for a couple of days and notice how that feels. If you don't notice anything or you feel good, then you can maybe step it up to 2. So generally speaking, the dosage is between 1 or 2 capsules with each meal, so 2 or 3 times a day. And that's what I do. I take a broad blend of enzymes, digestive enzymes, and I take it ideally before my meal, and I take 2 with each meal. And people have asked me also, what sort of side effects should I expect? And the answer is none, really. Most people will have an easing of the digestive issues, if there are any. As I mentioned some of them before, they are extremely well tolerated. I always recommend start off with 1 at your largest meal. That way it's got more work to do, and you'll be able to get a sense of how that feels for you. Now, other benefits of taking digestive enzymes. This is an important point, and this is why I encourage taking digestive enzymes. Remember, towards the beginning of this training, I spoke about the 2 kinds, metabolic enzymes and digestive enzymes. Now, here's the key thing about taking enzymes, digestive enzymes. If you take them with food or before your meal, around mealtime, they will digest your food, which is why you're taking them. However, what I've found over the years in my practice is when I give patients digestive enzymes between meals, then those enzymes will still digest, but not the food, because there isn't any. They will digest foreign proteins, or even help the immune system by digesting fragments of virus or bacteria or protozoa or different nasties in our system, and that way prime and keep our immune system strong. So another way to use digestive enzymes is away from food, and that way you'll get more of the metabolic benefits. So one of my patients recently came with severe arthritis and not really responding to the traditional conventional treatments, and also having stomach problems from the medication. So I recommended he take high dose enzymes. These are really professionally prescribed, away from food. And these have a very powerful anti-inflammatory benefit and also support the digestive system. So taking digestive enzymes away from food will have metabolic impacts as well. So that's another reason to consider perhaps the timing of when to take your digestive enzymes. And yes, you can take digestive enzymes during your meal to get those digestive benefits, and then away from your meal if you also need metabolic benefits as well. I just want to mention a couple of ideas about healthy digestion tips. And I spoke initially about soaking your foods and different herbs and supplements to advance your digestion. But a key piece in having your digestive enzymes work properly is, that's right, proper hydration. That having water or a lemon juice with ginger or a herbal elixir of some sort before a meal or even after a meal will help digest your food. So hydration is key to make sure your enzymes are well. And it's good to drink up to, let's say, 20 minutes before your meal. You don't want too much liquid in your stomach when you come to eat, because that extra liquid will really dilute the power of digestive enzymes. So you don't want to be doing that. Now, there are certain foods that are very, very high in natural enzymes outside of the sprouted form that I discussed. But foods like pineapple or papaya or kiwi or banana or mangoes, these are known to have high enzymes. Pineapple have proteases which help with protein digestion. So does papaya. Kiwi also has a protease enzyme in. And bananas have an enzyme that helps to break down amylase, which is a kind of a sugar. Avocados have found to help digest fats. They have lipase enzymes in. So it's an amazing wonder of the creator who has built and engineered our foods when they're in their whole natural state to have everything they need to be digested and absorbed by us. And I'm a big fan of cultured foods, either sauerkraut or kefir or proper pickled cucumbers, etc. These also, aside from their probiotic benefits, also have natural enzymes that help us digest our food. And lastly, foods like miso, which is a cultured rice or soybean barley extract, is also very rich in digestive enzymes. Okay, so go ahead. If you've got any questions, you can type them in the chat, or if you're watching a replay, you can put them in the comments, and I'll do my best to respond. In the meantime, while you're posting your questions, I want to end like I like to do with each Mind Body Mondays, to end with a weekly challenge. So I'm going to recommend you try one of the three things. The first is chewing your food. The recommendation or the challenge for this week is really chew your food 32 times for the first 3 minutes of one meal in the day. So once again, chew your food for up to 3 minutes, the first 3 minutes, for each mouthful 32 times for just one meal in the day. And there's so much research about the benefits of chewing your food. Just that itself will relieve so much digestive challenges, but also if you don't, it will enhance your physical well-being. That's the first challenge, if you want that one. The second one is to experiment with soaking your nuts. Maybe just choose sunflower seeds or walnuts or one of the other nuts. Just soak that, as I mentioned, for 12 hours, changing the water every now and then, and adding those foods to your diet. That way you'll be able to get an enhanced bioactivated enzyme within those foods to your own system. And then lastly, try the 14-day enzyme challenge, which is literally taking 1 or 2 capsules of a digestive enzyme at your main meal for 14 days and just notice what you feel. And that's the weekly challenge. Let me have a look at my chat to see what sort of questions have come up. So Someone's posted in the chat, why take enzymes, not bitters? I'm a fan of both. I personally take digestive, I take bitter herbs that I manufacture in the clinic, where these are bitter tasting herbs, and I take these typically after my meal and my digestive enzymes before my meal. So I do both because I understand the pharmacy that's going on within myself and what's happening when we take herbs and things like that. But I would suggest just keep intervention simple to start. Any other questions? Okay. Well, I'm very happy that you've joined me on Mind Body Monday. And if you're not on yet, if you're on Facebook and you haven't joined the Facebook group, I'm going to post in the chat and the comments an invitation to join the Facebook group. And I've also posted in the chat a way to join my YouTube channel, because as these videos get posted, you'll be able to stay current with what's going on. I wish you a great digestive week, and I look forward to seeing you on Mind Body Monday next week.